Hey y'all, it's that time of the month. It's time for the top 5 plants from the past month. Let's get into May plant faves. Of course, before we do, I want to thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you so much for coming back every video. This is your first time. Welcome. Come on in, get comfortable. I think you're going to like it here. Whether my plant content ends up being for you or not, I really love to hear what you think. Feel free to leave a comment, share with someone that my content might resonate with, like, subscribe, whatever you're feeling up to. It really, really goes far for my channel and keeps me pretty motivated to keep creating and posting. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's time for the top 5 plants from the past month. I'm not going to lie. Let's get into May. This is going to be a little more off the fly. Normally, I have a pretty good idea of who I want to showcase, but not this time. Not like, oh, I don't know which plants I want to showcase, but more so like I didn't pick them out ahead of time. So you guys can guess what the first genus is, but guess what? We're both going to be guessing because I don't know either. All right, let me go grab the first one so we can all be surprised. So here is our first May favorite, which I think is pretty significant because I don't think I've done anything with Monsteras on here, let alone put it in a favorites video. This is my Monstera Albo, and she's actually been with me maybe a year now. She started with just a tiny little clipping in moss, and I put her outside during one of the porch garden years, and she took off. And then when we moved to Cleveland, I put her on one of these little cocoa choir poles, and then extended the pole. So she's doing pretty good. She has a sachet, is the area that she was in. I started to see some thrips, but honestly, it's been about a month and I haven't seen any new ones. I got her in this really, really big pot. I want to say this is 9 inches maybe? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm at a point where I really am not paying attention to the sizes. It says 25 centimeters. But yeah, this is number 1, my Monstera Albo. And she honestly just is happy. I mean, Monsteras in my collection do pretty well, but she's also just such a beautiful, I think, statement piece in my collection, like where she sits. So, yeah, penetrating well and climbing well, attaching to this pole, because I'm not really a maintain a moss pole kind of girl when it comes to Monsteras, at least not certain Monsteras. Yeah, number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is also a pretty big leafer and an Anthurium. Should be no surprises here that Anthuriums are on the list this month. This is my Dory's Dream by KOS by AOS. This is from Baker's Acres. I believe it's been on the Faves list before, but I can't remember. But I'll tell you she's on here this month because of this leaf. It is currently the largest Anthurium leaf in my collection. Not the largest leaf in my collection, but definitely the largest Anthurium leaf. And so it's especially, I think, promising for me, or why it feels so good, why she's on the list this month, is because this was her last leaf, which was supposed to be a perfect leaf, but I accidentally ripped it while it was still like hardening. And so this was an example of a plant that I chopped and started over as far as like the foliage on top, pretty strong in the roots. But I restarted the foliage and it has given me, because even for this one that I ripped, you know what I'm saying? Like it was cooking to be a pretty perfect leaf, Let me try and get that focus right. And then look at this baby. She did do a little rubbing. You'll see, oh, you don't see it that bad. She did do a little rubbing. You can see some of that here. But otherwise, she's gorgeous. She is in, I want to say this is an 8-inch pot, plastic nursery pot that I got like for free, like in one of the plant groups that I'm in. People say, oh, I have pots. I typically go get them. So, yeah, doing really well. Number 2 on the plant fave this month. All right, guys, number 3 this month. This is my variegated Syngonium chia pence, which I don't talk about Syngonium a lot, but I actually do have quite a few Syngoniums still in my collection. Hold on. No, I don't have a regular chia pence, but I have this variegated one that I actually got as a clipping from a friend locally when I lived in Columbus. She gave me one clipping. It had 2 growth points, 2 nodes. So I ended up clipping it and turning it into 2 plants. So I do have 2 in here. And so maybe a month or so ago, I chopped her down and sewed some cuttings. She had gotten thrips really bad after that. And so she got chopped again. And so here we are with 2 new leaves on each stem. So both beautiful. Variegated chia pens are known for reverting. So this is a pretty big deal, but they were pretty high bar clippings. It had been my second or third attempt at growing one of these, and they just kept reverting. So I would end up selling them and then buying another one from someone else. So this one has been wonderful, and there's really no fuss. They can go a little longer than most Syngoniums as far as watering, but regardless, they just don't make that much fuss. They do dry out, I feel like, as quickly as other Syngoniums, but I feel like they're not as fussy if they do go without moisture for a while. So, yep, this is my cutie pie. Come on. I mean, there we go. This is my cutie pie. I love her. She sits like right on the top with some miscellaneous plants, but miscellaneous or not, she's definitely a fave for this month. So that was number 3. All right, this is number 4, and we are moving quite along. This is another Anthurium. This is my RLFS by Gator Bod by Swamp Bunny. I don't believe that it's been in the favorites, but I definitely think it's been on maybe a YouTube short, maybe in the past month or so. But I put her out of the cabinet in April. And she has definitely been experiencing some of that lower humidity that happens in ambient. But this has been her first leaf since being out. Now we do have a few tears from the lack of humidity and drying out a little quicker than what it's used to. But first of all, it's really, of course, the leaves before you start to see the ears or, the definition around the sinus. But this right here, that's new. Like I can't think of how we're supposed to talk about the traits, but they look like ears to me. And then the sinus, so tiny, flat sinus or negative sinus. I keep saying I'm going to look it up, but I keep forgetting. Anyway, this first leaf with these defined traits, the first leaf in ambient, I had to shout her out. Beautiful. And I feel like I haven't, while I do like dramatic veining, I feel like I really am starting to fall in love with very minimal veining, thin veins. And this is definitely no exception to that preference. So a beauty for sure. And that's why she's landed as number 4. Also, this is from, I'm pretty sure I got it on Palm Street. God, I hope I'm not wrong. Aeroids in Orlando. Yeah, Aeroids in Orlando. If I'm wrong, I will update it when I edit this. But a really talented breeder that actually is responsible for, I think, me getting into seedlings and growing my Anthuriums from my hybrids from seedlings. Really, really love her work. Please check her out. I'll try and put a link in the description for this video. All right. Somebody buy, because I haven't been buying. I haven't really been buying. When you have almost 300 plants, it is really interesting deciding which plants really spoke to you that month. And again, one of the reasons I do it, it really helps me to appreciate the collection that I have. And I have my plant purchasing has gone down significantly for other reasons, like, being more financially responsible. I also think that it's gone down so much because I am actually making time to appreciate the collection that I have. So I just refuse to sleep on that because I think it's been so important for me and my plants. Anyway, another Syngonium, which I don't think I've ever featured a Syngonium. So 2 Syngoniums and 1 monthly plant Faves is definitely insane. But this is my Syngonium Boutique variegated. And yeah, she's a stunner. She was always pretty, right? Little pieces of variegation here and there. Definitely could tell, right, a difference from like your typical boutique. So come on, man. I'm trying to get this leaf in particular. Definitely could tell, right, that it wasn't your, and I hope I'm saying it right, boutique. Of course, I'll have it on the screen. But then this leaf came out. I did recently put her in self-watering. She was in just a cup. I think I got it from a planty friend, Tracy, in one of my local groups back closer to Columbus. I believe I got it from her. And so, oh, it's got a new leaf on the way. I wasn't really taking care of it well. I was just kind of like not letting it die. And then I put it in self-watering and she really, really, really took off. So I've really been loving her. Love this new leaf that she blessed me with. And she's definitely on my radar. And you know, I've actually been one of those people. I don't know if you guys have seen, I'll insert a picture if you haven't. I put most of my Syngoniums in one pot. And now that I have this one in self-watering, it kind of makes me think like the potential for some of my Syngoniums, like would I hate them less? Not I hate them, like would they feel less boring if I'd given them exactly what they need? And I think a lot of them really would thrive in self-watering. So I haven't intentionally purchased a Syngonium in like a year. It doesn't mean that I'm never going to. There are some beautiful ones that I see, but I always end up getting bored of my Syngoniums. But this, I feel like the self-watering situation has been a game changer. So I think that's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this was number 5. A good one to end with, right? Yeah. All right, guys. So that's it. Top 5 plants in May. I am really, really trying not to limit myself to just certain genus or certain types of plants because I truly, truly am an equal opportunity collector. This definitely helps to remind me like, hey, there are other plants out there. So I'm like appreciating what I do have as well as like thinking of different ways that I can intentionally grow my collection should I decide to do that in the future. Thank you guys for joining. Let me know what you thought. Any questions you have, anything you're interested in seeing. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for possibly getting to this last part. Please check out some of my other videos. I've been curating some playlists as I'm like creating different series and things like that. So please check them out. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys. Bye.